This episode of Blacklisted MX is brought to you by Slow Ride Garage. Make sure you check out their website at www.slowride.com. If you like this merch, what you see here, they got all this plus a lot more. Some of the tightest merch out there on the shelves right now, I must say. And it all looks good. It feels good. It's all good. So make sure you check out their website, the official sponsors of Blacklisted MX, and that is www.slowride.com. And don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button. Help spread the family of Blacklisted MX. I like to see it grow. I appreciate the subscribers who are tuning in and staying involved with the channel. Much respect, much love. But make sure you go check out slowride.com. All right, we are back again with another episode. We got returning guest, beautiful Lindsey Bradley today. How you doing today, Lindsey?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Brought you back to the show. It's a pleasure having you once again. Just going to kind of do a recap and see what direction you're headed this year. I know the season kicked off one round of the Yamaha last weekend. You didn't race that event, but what do you got mapped out for this year? What do you got going on since you didn't race?
I'm going to try and hit as many local AMO events as I can. I did go last weekend. I didn't end up racing. I have a few kids that I train that were racing the 50 class, so watched them, worked. I'm a medic on the side, so I work for a medic company at select AMO races, and yeah, I need a top end on my bike, so I chose that Gopher probably wasn't a good idea. And then with the weather, it was pretty wet, muddy sand, so yeah, I chose not to race Gopher, but I'm going to try and hit up as many AMO races as I can, and then obviously the East Coast Triple Crown Series for the women's class, and select premix classes there as well.
Okay. Are you going to race Auburn Hills this coming weekend? You set out for round 2?
Yeah, as long as I can get my bike back together. We ran into some troubles last night, and hopefully get all the parts that I need and ready to go for the weekend. So I'm not going to ride this week, but I'm just going to try and get my bike back together for the weekend at Auburn, yeah.
Okay, so now you said you're training some kids. I don't think you were doing that last year. How'd you get involved with training kids, and who are you training, and why did you decide to train some kids?
So a good family friends of ours, they have a 7 and a 5-year-old, one of which is hurt right now, so he's not riding. But the young girl, Erica, she's an up-and-comer in the girls 4-8 class, and she's ripping right now. I think she only went, maybe 2 races last year where she didn't win the 4-8 class, so she's definitely one to keep an eye on, and I grew up with her parents, and it's sort of been the same thing. I grew up with them, so then now raising their kids sort of with them is kind of cool, and she looks up to me as a women's motocross racer in Canada and wants to be just like me, so I think it's pretty cool, and she listens to me and doesn't really listen to her parents as well, so they on her off, and yeah, it's been rewarding though. I like watching her, and yeah, she came up to me last weekend. I gave her some good lines in the first moto, and obviously Gopher isn't ideal on a 50, but she listened to me and pulled a couple hole shots, and then came to me second moto and said, what line should I take here and there? So that to me is kind of like, I like that sort of thing. I like having kids come up and ask for my advice, because I was once that kid too. Like I had people that I looked up to and wanted to be just like them, and so it's kind of cool to have little ones run up to you and ask sort of advice, and it's cool that she's a little girl racing too, and there's not many that are in Ontario, so yeah, no, I enjoy it. And Erica Summers is her name, so it's her and her younger brother PJ, and unfortunately PJ's got a broken leg right now, so he won't be riding anytime soon, I don't think, unfortunately. But yeah, so I'm just sort of with Erica right now.
Okay, so you picked up that role as a mentor, as a trainer. Is this something that you're gonna be helping her out for a long period of time, or something you're just gonna be helping out a couple races? Because you got your own training and racing to do pretty soon once you get that bike together. What direction are you gonna go?
Yeah, I enjoy it. I mean, like I said, it's pretty rewarding, and growing up with her parents, it's cool to be a mentor to her, and I've always been a mentor to her ever since she was really little. So I think I'm just gonna continue to work with her. I really like her. She's a good little kid. So and on the plus side, she listens to me, which a lot of people a lot of people, I'd be the first person to say I didn't want to listen to my parents, so I can understand where sort of she's coming from, and she has a mentor to look up to in that way. So I work with her. I'll be working with her come summer once a week, and yeah, hopefully she'll keep progressing. She's doing well so far, and yeah, I enjoy it.
Good, good, good. And let's talk about a little bit about your racing. Last time I seen you, I don't know if you spotted me or not, but I seen you at, I believe it was the last round of the Ammo series, and it almost seemed like you were completely done with it. You're like, oh, I'm over it. You know, how'd you make out last year?
Well, last year Triple Crown series it went okay. I mean, I didn't get to ride as much as I wanted during the week. I had some stuff going on at work, and we got pretty busy. So, yeah, just not being able to ride during the week, that's tough for me. It's sort of an escape in a way, but at the same time, if you're not able to do it, then that's tough mentally and physically too. So, I mean, last year when I ride, it's it's really not where I wanted to be. I ended up getting a national number, but it is what it is, and I want to be better than that. I know where I can be versus where I was, so that was frustrating in itself. But yeah, no, I think you're right. At the end of the year, I just raced so much last year that I was like, God, this is enough. Like, you get almost burnt out a little bit. So come the end of the year, I didn't race too much in the fall. I just sort of did my own thing. I was back to work full time, and yeah, I rode here and there during the week, and then here and there on the weekends. But it was just for fun, really. I like to keep it fun as much as I like racing. So yeah, that's another thing too. I was sort of over the racing part at that point.
Yeah.
But,
well, you're out there having fun, and you're making it happen every year. So that, I mean, you're keeping the streak going. I know that I know you race a little bit of GNCC stuff too. Or, I mean, we talked about it in the past. Are you planning on jumping to any races this year, doing any of that?
I honestly, I don't think so. It's just tough with my work schedule. I mean, I'm in the midst of trying to get hired full time on the fire department. I'm trying to get full time at my work right now. I mean, I'm working full time hours as a part timer. So yeah, it's just tough with my work schedule, and I don't see it happening this year. But when I get full time, and I have my life together a little bit more, I think it'll be a lot easier to sort of get down there and race a little bit of the U.S. stuff. I mean, I enjoy it. I do miss it. I haven't raced the GNCC since before COVID, but with COVID restrictions, we couldn't get over the border or anything. So yeah, that was definitely tough as well. But yeah, no, I've enjoyed the motocross stuff. Honestly, I didn't race a full motocross series in a long time until 2020, and raced the whole Triple Crown, and then the same last year and 21.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I enjoyed going back to the motocross thing too.
Nice. Are you still racing the same class as you were last year, or did you move up a class this year?
Well, I have nowhere to go. I've been racing the ladies A class since I was on a 60. So
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've been there. And then I was old enough last year to race the vet class, so I started racing plus 25, and it was definitely different. I mean, I was always kind of in the junior class, and there was a lot of people, and I like the vet class because there's way less people, and they're not everywhere all the time. Like the junior class is always like 46, 47 people, whereas the vet class is a little nicer. And I mean, yeah, there's some fast guys locally that race that class, but I don't know. I like it. I enjoy it. So I'm just racing the plus 25 ladies, and then select premix classes at Triple Crown, and then the women's box.
And I know you were doing quite a bit of work on your bike. You ended up pulling the motor out this morning. Is that something you're doing on your own, or you got somebody aiding you along the way? Who's going to help you out there?
Yeah, so a bit of both. I mean, I grew up with a family. Dustin is the sales manager at Blackstock Motorsports, so they're one of my main sponsors. They help me out a ton. They're a family, the Heacocks. They help me out quite a bit. And we pulled my motor apart last night, ran into some problems, didn't have all the parts we needed, so hopefully, like I said before, get my bike back together this week for Auburn, sorry. But yeah, it's sort of something I'm able to do on my own, but I'd like to have someone there just in case, or if we run into problems, and then they're able to help me solve it. But yeah, no, it is. I can do the top end by myself. My dad taught me when I was not little, but younger, and yeah, it's just nice to have that extra set of eyes just in case. So
yeah. Now, has any changes been made? Are you going to do anything different as opposed to how your year went last year? Anything?
I'm just hoping. Yeah, I'm just hoping. Like, I've been in the gym 5 days a week now. So that in itself, like last year, I wasn't able to do that just with my work schedule and stuff. So now it's kind of dialed back a little bit. I'm able to get in the gym 5 days a week. I just feel better, honestly, not only on the bike but off the bike as well. So hopefully that's going to make a pretty big difference. I struggled a lot last year with arm pump just because I couldn't ride during the week. I wasn't in the gym as much as I needed to be. But yeah, no. So hopefully that makes a good change this year. And just knowing where I can be, I'm really hoping that I'm there this year. So I don't have any injuries in the past. I've sort of come in the last 2 years half injured, half not. Didn't know if I was going to race or whatever. So it was good that this year now I have no injuries. I'm ready to go and healthy. So yeah. Hopefully just being in the gym and being able to ride a little bit during the week, that'll really set the tone for me this year. I think it'll make a big difference.
I have to give you props because you do so much. I mean, you stay busy, like with work and training and everything else. I don't even see how you get time to even clarify yourself doing moto because you stay so busy. It seems like you would always be tired and need some type of, refreshener to regroup yourself. But you're going 5-7 days a week, and my hat goes off to you because you keep it going. You keep pushing. If you're not at the track, you're working. If you're not working, you're training. You always got something going on.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. It's something it doesn't go unnoticed to a lot of people, and I really appreciate that. So, like I said, I'm just hoping to do my best this year. I mean, I feel really good on and off the bike, so hopefully I can really put that into play this year, and I know where I can be, so that's where I should be, sort of thing, in the Triple Crown Series. And locally, I'm just out there riding, having fun. So, so that's not. It's always in the back of my mind, but yeah, it's the Triple Crown Series that I just want to prove myself. I want to be the best person that I can be. So, hopefully this year is a good year for me.
Are you still riding on that 2-smoker? Still ride the YZ25? Yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't converted over yet, huh?
Well, I'm not really a handful of 4-strokes, but I don't know. It's just I don't know. I like the 2-strokes. I find I'm not a 4-stroke rider. I can't ride them as well as I can a 2-stroke, and being my weight, my size, I just fit a 2-stroke a lot nicer. I mean, I've rode a couple 252 strokes, and I enjoy them, but yeah, I don't know. I like the 2-stroke. I don't know. It sounds cool.
Yeah. What's there not to like about it, man? The sound, the smell, the feel. It's just,
That's it.
Yeah. I remember the first time I got myself on a 4-stroke from going from a 2-stroke to a 4-stroke, because this is when I worked at Yoshimura, and I bought a bike through Suzuki, through those guys, and I bought the bike. Took it out to Glen Helen. I rode the bike maybe twice, and I sold the bike. I sold it, got rid of it, and picked up another 2-stroke, and just been a 2-stroke guy the whole time. Now, I'm not a hater to any 4-strokes. I just haven't put enough time on them to be able to get used to them, to be able to enjoy them like I would a 2-stroke, right?
Yeah, no, and that's the same with me. I mean, I don't have a hate on for 4-strokes at all, and I've rode a handful of them, and they're all right. I can't ride them the same. I mean, if I had enough time on one, I'm sure I could figure it out. But like I said, my weight and my size, I just fit one so nicely. Yeah, I love it. I don't know what to say because I like to. They sound cool.
They do. Right on, Lindsey. Well, it was beautiful catching up with you. It was good to see you once again. Hopefully, I'll see you at the track sometime soon. I'll definitely be at maybe a few of the ammo events. I'm trying to get lined up this weekend for the Auburn, but I'm not too sure yet. But once I get out there, let's catch up and just do like a on-site interview, check you out, and see how your day's going.
Yeah, no, for sure. I appreciate you letting me do this again. It's been cool. I always like the support, and I know you like talking, so.
No, thank you for coming on to the show. It's always a pleasure having you. You like to talk. I like to hear the stories. I like to catch up, and I want to say thank you even for wanting to actually come on to the show to be able to help get yourself out there and like I said, catch up with you and find out what's going on in your life for this year. You're welcome back anytime. Is there anything that you want to say or put out there before we wrap this up?
Well, I just got a list of sponsors, and I mean, they're just kind of keeping the dream alive right now. But Blackstone Motorsports, TLD, SSR, True North Motorsports, Blackstock, I couldn't do it without those guys. They do a lot for me. The Heacock family, obviously my mom and dad, longtime supporters. Hinson Clutches, Works Connections, Ronald Power Canada, Here Goods and Services, OG's, Natty Seats, Early Tires. Yeah, anyone else I've forgotten, thanks a lot. Really goes a long way.